Okay. I was really hoping to be back today, but obviously I'm not there. So instead of getting to do things with you guys, I found a lesson plan that I'm really excited about and I wish that I could do. And I hope you enjoy it too. So this is about secret rooms and hidden passageways. So we're going to talk a little bit here first. If your sub wants to pause the video at any point and discuss with you guys, he or she may do that. Otherwise, you can watch this straight through and then you'll have an activity at the end of it. So this is a painting. It's by an artist named George Alfred Williams. If you want to pause at this point and discuss what do you think is happening, you can do that. Remember to raise your hand and wait your turn before talking there. But what I want you to notice is that there is this passageway here. I want to tell you a little more about that. So the title of the painting is Miss Van Loo Bringing Food to the Union Soldier in the Secret Room. I know, it's a long title, but it's very descriptive also. So the woman in that painting, she was an actual person who lived during the Civil War. She wanted to help escaped war prisoners, so she hid them in a secret room in her house. You can see that over on the left there. That's the actual house, and then below you can see the secret or the entrance to the secret room. We think probably there would have been a large piece of furniture in front of that to keep it hidden, because obviously that's kind of noticeable. If you want to pause, you can discuss what you might have or what you think might have been inside the secret room, or you can just keep going with me. So throughout history, there have been secret chambers and hidden rooms inside buildings, and it's always just kind of a fascinating topic to me. I still get sucked into videos on YouTube of secret passageways and rooms, and if I had more time, I'd show you some of those. But instead, I'm going to show you just a couple of photos here. So this one shows a man holding open a secret door to a room where priests were once hidden from the Queen of England when she was trying to kill the priests. So people would keep them safe. These rooms, they were often built under staircases, behind fireplaces, or hidden behind false walls. You could also use these as a place to hide valuables to keep them safe. Anyone recognize this building? Hopefully you raised your hand before shouting out there. It's the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. You can see Abe Lincoln there on the right. He sits inside this memorial. It's a huge building. But I didn't know, and maybe you did, there's a large secret room beneath this memorial. When they first built it, in order to keep it from sinking into the marshy soil, the construction workers, or the engineers, had to drive these columns that you can see below there deep into the ground. And then the memorial was built on top of those pillars, leaving this vast cavern, a giant space underneath. For a while, people were given flashlight tours, where you walked around with your guide. But then it was forgotten for decades, which, remember, that's 10 years is a decade. So you can kind of be thinking here, what would potentially be some interesting uses for this space? If you want to pause the video and talk about that at your groups, you can, or as always, you can keep going here. Sometimes, beneath city streets, there's hidden passageways there as well. This tunnel that you see, it's from the 1800s and was built under the city of Naples, Italy. Pardon me. It was meant to be an escape route for the royal family. It connected the royal palace to the military headquarters. And it was forgotten until World War II. And then people would take shelter in the tunnels down there during the attack. And if you were to go down there today, many old objects from the war are still down in these tunnels. We've got a castle here. Now, what you may not know from this castle is that hidden inside, there were secret tunnels that led to the other side of the mountain, into this little town. And that worked out well for the people inside the castle because they were able to get food and supplies when enemies tried to starve the people out by blocking out the entrances. And that happened in the 1500s. Some people were trying to get rid of the owner. So this entrance was built, or this castle was built there over 800 years ago. So people have been using secret passages for a long time. On the left, you can see a drawing of a window. Notice that little triangle up top? Usually that section would be kind of boxed off from the inside. It's not very functional space. But sometimes, you can see on that bottom right, people turned them into little secret cubby holes, like this one that you open by pulling a string and a tiny hidden door which unlatched that lock. Sometimes a cabinet or a piece of furniture, those can have a secret passageway or doorway also. You wouldn't guess it unless you were told, and there's usually a way to open the door. I always think of like Scooby-Doo, where you twist or move a book or something when I think of things like this, but maybe that's just me. Some hidden passages you can get through a trap door, where you open up the floor or the ceiling to go up or down into somewhere. A lot of times those are opened with a hidden tool because they blend into the floor. There could be hallways or stairs, ladders, or rooms behind it. Maybe you've read about or seen secret passageways or tunnels, escape hatches, or trapdoors in books or in movies. I know we watch a YouTube individual named Mark Rober, and he's an engineer. And if you go and look at his lab that he works in, he's kind of a giant kid at heart, and he's made multiple secret passageways in his lab. He's got some great videos on it if you've got some time after school. So this is getting into what you guys are going to do. You've got a little house here. Looks very simple on the outside, but inside you have all these hidden secrets down here that somebody has designed. So you're going to do the same sort of thing. Your job today is to draw a building that has many secret spaces hidden inside. You've got a lot of options here. Maybe you decide to do a close-up view of the building, where you see all of the inside pieces in those hidden rooms and passages, kind of like you see on the left here. Or maybe you might have a building with underground passages, more like this. Or maybe you do something entirely different. Perhaps your home is built by a tree and there's a secret tree house inside of it. Or like that castle we saw with a mountain behind your place, and you've got some hidden rooms or something back there. This is your opportunity to be creative. You can invent all sorts of escape hatches, secret exits, slides, elevators, moats, stairways, secret doors, treasure rooms, play spaces, games. Whatever you can think of, you can put in this house that you're designing. Think about what would you like, what would be really cool, and what would be really something that you would enjoy having. And think about how can you put that into this house that you're designing. So the first thing you're going to do is sketch out your building and its secret spaces. So this is where you decide, do I want an underground section? Do I want to do a close-up where I've got the spaces in my building here, like on the left? Do I want to have my secret spaces someplace else? Sketch lightly here because you might want to erase or move things around. And then once you decide where those different spots are, maybe you want to add labels where everyone who looks at your painting can see details about it. Or maybe you want to add some people or some inventions that are within your space. Again, use your creativity, use your imagination. I'm eager to see these when I come back. After you draw your building, that's where you get to take some time and color it in neatly. I'd recommend going through with a black colored pencil, or if you want to use a Sharpie and outline things, you can do that as well. Just be careful with those Sharpies if you choose to do that. Remember, be careful not to color too dark over any of those words. You still want to be able to read what they say if you've labeled the different sections there. You can see an example up above here. So the materials you're going to need today: blank piece of paper. So you can grab a piece of white paper, or your sub will hand that out to you. Then, of course, you need a pencil to sketch things out. We can use crayons or markers or colored pencils. Those are all in the red lockers. They're on the north wall of the room. If you're looking for crayons, those are in the bottom left. Colored pencils are in the middle, and then markers are on the bottom right. So you can, or rather your sub can look through there and find whatever you need. You can turn your paper in either direction, whatever works best for your idea, vertical or horizontal. And remember the most important part here: take your time, do nicely, have fun, use your imagination. I want to see those creative ideas here. Don't forget to put your name on this. I'm eager to see these when I get back.